So in this video, I want to talk about really advanced stuff that potentially, if you're into e-commerce, is gonna be a complete game changer, basically. So I want to talk about the three types of different campaigns or campaign structures within Facebook: CBO, ABO, and ASC. For those of you who do not know, you probably shouldn't listen to this video, but if you still want to listen to this video, ABO means ad set budget optimization, CBO is campaign budget optimization, and then ASC is the new advanced shopping basically campaign. So the for, to really understand how Facebook works, you really have to go through how kind of like these types of campaigns evolved throughout time. So there used to be only one type of campaign, and then Facebook switched to what I call the Google way of like working, which is basically a campaign and then ad sets inside of it and stuff like that. And the way that it is right now, it's almost like there are like three types of different algorithms. So it really optimizes according to a different kind of like way of targeting, finding out the real other type of people that it's trying to find out. And this is like a whole different thing that you have to understand, especially if you're running e-com or lead gen, because that could really drastically change. So in this video, I'm going to go over all three of them, and I'm going to give you some tips on stuff that really could be a game changer. And let me start with something extremely big. If you're into A/B testing, and if, for example, you're running an e-com campaign and you're testing to see, if this pre-lender works better, if this funnel, the checkout page, if it's like a one-click checkout or something like that, you are going to be very surprised of the differences you're gonna see. So, people who started doing A/B testing a while back, they look at these types of campaigns and they go, okay, if this is working and I see that it's like double the conversion rate, or my EPC or EPV here is double, then it's a no-brainer. I should like implement it the same flow to all types of campaigns. But then usually they don't go back and look at these campaigns and to see how they did, or they don't compare the current campaign with the old one. And they see that they have a very different kind of like result to every A/B test or every campaign that they implemented it, especially if one campaign would be ABO, the other would be CBO, and the third would be ASC. And the reason to that is that algorithms work completely different within Meta, within Facebook. So there are like a few theories to that, and I think it's always like, the truth is always kind of like in the middle. So it's a combination of everything. The first theory says basically that the campaign is dialed in. The algorithm already, crawled inside the landing page, crawled inside the checkout funnel, everything. And once you change something drastic, then you're gonna see different numbers because it's already optimizing according to that specific funnel and people that maybe are more likely to convert. And this is why the old funnel will always win. The other theory would be that basically it's targeting a different kind of audience. So older people would react different than younger people, female versus male, different countries, different geos, and stuff like that. So when you do that, make sure that you do really A/B test every type of campaign. And of course, if you're using a different type of like creative or interest, and this goes also when you do the type of creative, like for example, image creatives would react different than video creatives. It's a different algorithm again. And then placements, that's a different type of audience that reacts differently. So that's the first big thing that you're gonna see, like drastic change. And that's why it's much more dynamic than, people want to read the funnel. People want to understand how the funnel works. Well, that funnel doesn't work for every platform, for every algorithm. At the end of the day, people talk about how smart or good the creative needs to be. People talk about optimizing the funnel, but at the end of the day, it's a combination of everything. And the algorithm, at the end of the day, is like the strongest variable that really can change all of the metrics. ABOs is how I usually, that's my go-to creative testing structure. So I would do one campaign and then I would go inside and kind of like, test and do these things. And I'm gonna do like a whole video about my creative testing method, but ABOs is usually how I do that. CBOs is where I wanna really either test a very large number of creatives, or when I do have more flexibility. That means I have more time, I have more money, and that's where I throw these types of campaigns. The way I see it, it's kind of like a waterfall. ABO being the most kind of like mature type of like campaign, but a better word would be analog campaign. CBO would be somewhere in between, and ASC would be the most automated, that relies or like is most dependent on the algorithm basically. So you have ABOs, which are usually not that fluctuating in terms of like CPCs and stuff like that, and you have CBOs that take more time to optimize, that are more reliant on data, and you have ASCs that are kind of like more deeply automated, and kind of like it's a campaign that doesn't really like, you telling them or that campaign what to do. So even if you go ahead and give them a specific type of targeting, it would say, okay, this is just a recommendation. I'm going to use this as kind of like understanding where you want me to go, but I don't promise that I'm going to target that. So ASC is usually how people use to scale. They test on an ABO or CBO, and then they use ASC to scale. ASC is also very limited in the amount of creatives or amount of campaigns that you can put inside every ad account, so keep that in mind. And in general, Facebook is going towards consolidation. So let me know what you think in the comments inside my channel or here, if it's posted somewhere in a social media platform. How do you experience the different types of like algorithms and changes? And if you had like an instance where you were trying to A/B test and you got really different results and the campaigns were different algorithm based. Thank you so much.